You and I have a lot in common with the Jewish people in Sefer Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, which begins with Parshat Devarim. See, this group of people are the first Jews who were not the ones in Egypt itself. They did not see the signs and wonders of the 10 plagues. They didn't experience the miracle of the splitting of the Sea of Reeds. They did not hear the voice of God commanding them with Torah and mitzvot. And yet this is the next group of people. This is the generation that is going to head into the land of Israel, and it is on their shoulders that the legacy of the Jewish people rests. It's very possible that when they go into the land, being so far removed from all of those experiences, that they'll become comfortable with their neighbors, they'll see that the things that they are and they do are different, and they'll put those things to the side in order to blend in, and in that process lose their Jewish identity, lose their Jewish peoplehood. Moses knows this and is very much afraid of it, and so he begins what is going to be a series of speeches of his farewell address in which he shores up the identity of the Jewish people. And the place where he starts is with history. He starts by telling the people all of the things that they went through in the desert, about meeting God at Sinai, about leaving Egypt, reminds them of all of the struggle that it took to get to the point where they're at, the battles that were fought and the battles that were won in order for them to be able to take this next step. Now, Parshat Devarim is read the Shabbat before Tisha B'Av, when we commemorate the destruction of the temples in Jerusalem. But it's not just the destruction of the temples in Jerusalem. We as the Jewish people have set aside this day in the calendar each year to remember our history, to remember the saddest and most difficult parts, the struggles of our history, the part that is heart-wrenching and tear-jerking, but must be remembered in order to remember who we are. Whether it's the expulsion and the destruction by the Babylonians, the expulsion and destruction by the Romans, the martyrdom by the Byzantines, the murders through the Crusades, the expulsions through Europe and the Inquisition, all the way up through the Holocaust. These tragedies, knowing our history and being rooted in them, help us to have a sense of who we are, what we as a people have overcome that as an individual I might not have experienced, but that is part of our collective memory. When we let ourselves be reminded of these, when we let ourselves be emotionally impacted by the collective history, then we strengthen our identity as the Jewish people. And though we, like they who were about to cross the Jordan and head into the land to face more armies and receive the promise that God had given them, we have our struggles too with the rise of anti-Semitism that is supposed to be a thing of the past. But knowing what we have gone through and what we have overcome to bring us to where we are so that we can be in America where we are free to be the Jewish people. When we remember that as part of our identity, we are strengthened and we gain the ability, like they had, to shoulder the legacy of the Jewish people today and carry it into tomorrow.